Decoding Gemini Personality Traits and Secrets. Today, we're going to decode the Gemini Zodiac Sign and understand it. We'll talk about Gemini personality traits, secrets, and how Gemini is different from other zodiac signs and what makes them unique. Stay tuned. Gemini is the third sign of the zodiac. The sun is present in this sign between May 22nd and June 21st, according to the tropical astrology. Since 2011, the sun appears between June 21st and July 20th in this constellation. The Gemini constellation resides in the northern hemisphere, between Taurus to the west and Cancer to the east. It was first described in the 2nd century AD by the astronomer Ptolemy. Its name derives from the Latin word for twins, and it's related to Castor and Pollux, the twins in Greek mythology. The symbol used for this sign is the ancient astronomical symbol. It represents the Roman numeral 2, referring to two people. When it comes to the human body, the Gemini is responsible for the shoulders, lungs, arms, hands, feet, and nervous system. Because we're talking about duality, they're in charge of all the body parts that have two of each, that mirror each other. Healthy lungs are important for this sign, and when out of balance, they're predisposed to breathing issues and anxiety. The color that corresponds to this sign is yellow. It shows Gemini's exciting nature, full of spirit and curiosity. As ruler of the third house, the one of communication, intellect, and mental process, this denotes Geminis have a quick mind and communicate easily. Because they rule both arms and hands, they'll use their body language and are very expressive with their hands. According to astrology, the 12 signs are classified as cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal sign is responsible for the start of the season, the fixed sign for the peak of the season, and the mutable sign comes with the end of each season. So after Aries that started spring, and Taurus that used his energy to enhance spring, Gemini marks the end of the spring season. They're adaptable and good with change, so they're able to take the information others gathered and get the best out of it. This mutable character makes Gemini natives spontaneous and solution-oriented. They're able to see life from at least two perspectives, and they can find the approach that's the best for everyone. But still, they represent the end of a season, and that always comes with some chaos. This mutability makes them dynamic communicators, and if we add the fact that Gemini is an air sign, it's clear that they're wordsmiths. Air is formless, and it lacks a concrete body. That makes them an expert in things that lack physical form. Geminis can be just like chameleons that change with their environment for survival. An air sign can drift easily. So are Gemini prone to change from one mood to another, from one person to another, or from one theory to another. They might even get lost, endlessly talking about possibilities before actually doing something. Ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, this air sign is the one that will disseminate information. They like to communicate so much and are able to adapt their personality to the interlocutor, so they might seem different from everyone. They bring spontaneity, ideas, and news, and have an adventurous vibe. In Roman mythology, Mercury was the god of communication, commerce, messages, financial gain, tricksters, travelers, and thieves. In Greek mythology, his correspondent was Hermes, who was the messenger of gods that delivered messages between the land of the dead and the living. Even if it's a small planet, its influence highly impacts Gemini's everyday interactions, giving them the ability to think and react quickly. They can be seen as lucky people, but it's just that they're so adaptive and have light feet, so they're always at the right spot at the right time. Mercury gives them the spark to be outgoing and flirtatious, but it also influences their inquisitive mind. Geminis are intellectuals with a hunger for knowledge that will search for the deeper meaning in everything. They have the ability to read a person at first sight and are able to detect a bluff as they're great listeners also. Gemini is so versatile that they can easily adapt to the energy of a room and be either introverts or extroverts. Anything as long as they're not alone. Loneliness might be Gemini's biggest fear, afraid of being trapped by their own mind and imagination without being able to communicate it. Although they prefer sorting arguments without conflict, when they fight, They do it as they talk. They will have a flow of witty arguments. Because they're masters of words, they'll even turn your words against you. They will only stop talking when they feel they won the argument. Everything about this sign is about duality. The constellation is made up of two twins, Castor and Pollux. These two are the brightest stars of the constellation. Pollux is a red giant star, and Castor, a sextuple star system, small stars that orbit together. In Greek mythology, Castor was the mortal son of King Tyndareus, and Pollux was the son of Zeus. They were identical twins and were always inseparable in action. They completed each other as one was a great fighter and the other a great horseman. After Castor was killed in battle, Pollux asked Zeus to revive him, but Zeus only agreed if they would spend half their time on earth and half with the stars in heaven. These two stars and the twin archetype appear also in Babylonian astronomy, where they were named Meshlemteah and Lugalira, or in Egyptian astrology, where they were symbolized as a pair of goats. They could also be identified as Romulus and Remus, the brothers that built Rome. In popular beliefs, when sails met with these two stars together, it meant the journey would be a good one. If only one was present, bad luck would appear in their path. The purpose of this sign is to reveal the basic duality of manifestation. They're ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, the one to unite opposites in harmonious matrimony. And with the influence of Mercury, the messenger that's always on the move, permanently changing, it's no wonder that this air sign Gemini exceeds their purpose and becomes dual. Gemini can be considered two halves of a whole that are always opposite. One half can live in the past, while the other one thinks about the future. Even if this could be a great skill in life, if they're not balanced, people might see them as two-faced. All things considered, Gemini are inquisitive, intelligent, and volatile people. They are the socialites of the zodiac. Highly competent and good with words, they can quickly persuade others to consider their thoughts. They have fun personalities and are clever and flexible. But too much flexibility can make them unreliable and indecisive. Highly extroverted with a tendency for noisiness, they can become even impulsive in order to satisfy their need to know everything. In search of constant stimulation, a toxic Gemini will thrive on drama and are even able to create it in order to keep things interesting. At the same time, the fact that they always want to know and do new things makes them great lovers. In bed, they like to be adventurous and like dirty talk and role-playing. They're looking for someone eager to have fun, and even with their shifting nature, they can be loyal if they find their soulmate. Family is important for them, but it can also be a source of frustration for this sign if they don't have the freedom to express their interpersonal skills. If their relationship is not exciting and stimulating, they might even engage in a polyamorous relationship. As an air sign, they might have issues concentrating on a certain task for a long time. In order to be efficient, they should manage through mindfulness to extend their concentration span. When relationships are at stake, it would be useful for them to act in a more predictable manner. A visualization of how things might proceed with a future lover could be helpful for all parties involved. It's important for a Gemini to satisfy their curiosity in order to live a satisfying life. Acknowledging all psychological and emotional levels of complexity is also relevant in order for the Gemini native to enjoy life at full capacity. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe for all the updates.